Hello, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my pack. So stick around if you want to find out what's inside and what it's all about. So first off, this is a Hill People Gear Tarahumara pack. I am a huge fan of Hill People Gear. I think they make excellent quality equipment. This is the second pack of theirs that I have. The first one that I got was the Umlindi, the version 2 of the Umlindi. It's the one with the double cinch straps on the top instead of the one in the center. There's a few other upgrades over the first version as well, but that was the first one. I liked it a lot. I also got a kit bag when I ordered that pack. Another pretty cool item. I don't use it a ton, but it's very cool. But I was looking for a smaller pack and decided to go with another Hill People Gear. So this is what I wound up with. This is the elk brown color. It's a really nice color. And actually is quite elkish in the brown. But anyhow, let's see here. I'm going to start on the outside. So up top I've got two small Alice pouches here. And these are first aid. Well, probably more specifically trauma equipment. I have an Israeli bandage, 4-inch Israeli bandage. I'll just go ahead and open these up and show you what's inside. Now, I'm talking about first aid and trauma and things like that, but I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not giving advice on what you should carry. You should carry what you feel comfortable with or what you're trained to use. That's what you should go with. This is what I have. So I have a 4-inch Israeli bandage there. It's still in the package. I just prefer to carry it that way. So I have that. Bleed Stop blood clotting agent. That could come in handy. Hopefully not, but it could. SWAT T, stretch wrap and tuck tourniquet. I do not have any specific tourniquet training, so I don't carry like a rat or anything like that. This is what I go with, and hopefully if I ever need to use that, which fingers crossed never happens, hopefully that'll be good enough. But this is also multifunctional, so that's also a good pressure bandage option. It doesn't have to be solely a tourniquet. So there's that, and also a USGI cravat, just cotton triangular bandage. So I have those. Those are on the outside in those two pouches. Campcraft Outdoors dump pouch. I have there. Unsnap it, and see it opens up pretty good there. Pretty good sized little pouch. All canvas material, which is nice. And it is not waxed, which is also nice, because if you're gathering, you know, fruits and berries and things like that, I'm not a huge fan of putting those in a waxed bag, because that wax can come off on the food, and that's not ideal. So I really like that this one is not waxed, and also has a snap on the front where you can fasten that shut. Not all dump pouches have that, so I really like that feature on this one. And it is on the strap here. It does have a belt loop on the back, so I can put that, take it off the pack and put it on my belt if I would decide to do that. But I'm just going to leave that on there for now. Outside pockets, two clean canteen water bottles there. These are the 27 ounce. My preference for water bottles is the 38 ounce stainless steel Nalgene bottles, Loadout design bottles, but they're a little bit big for this. They kind of take up inside room, so I got these to put in this pack. They work really well for that. Also on the outside here, you see again attached to one of the compression straps on the front there is a Baco Laplander folding saw. This most of the time is in my Possibles bag, which is also from Campcraft Outfitters. But I don't have that with me today. I actually have the kit bag, which I'm not going to go through in this video because it would make a really long video. That'll be another time. But this is usually in the shoulder bag, but since I have the kit bag, that's in the pack. So, that's the outside. Now, we'll break in to the inside. One long zipper on the front, which is great. Right on top, two very useful items that I don't think anybody should go into the woods without. One is toilet paper and hand sanitizer. The other is a piece of cotton webbing, and these do go together. If you're out in the woods for long enough, things are going to happen. You're going to need to take care of certain things, and having something to use for that certain thing is really nice. I've used a lot of things, and I don't go in the woods without toilet paper these days, ever. That's always with me. Even if I don't have my pack, that's going to go in a pocket somewhere. If I'm going to be out away from my vehicle or something, that's with me. Good thing to have. Just saying. Piece of cotton webbing, and this is to form a sling around a tree. Run it around a tree, tie a knot in it, put it under your shoulders, just lean back, be nice and comfortable while you take care of your business there. So, good things to have. Alright, next. This is a Bushcraft Outfitters Mest Poncho. Multi-purpose emergency survival tarp, I believe is what MEST stands for, and this is the poncho version. Really nice item. If I have my umlindi, then I generally will have something else in there, because this is primarily for shelter. Of course, it also is rain gear, but if I'm expecting rain, I have a couple of ponchos that I really like to use that never ever leak, so I use those. And this is a backup or a tarp. So that's what that is. There's also a line in here to set it up as a tarp. I'm not going to pull that out for the moment. I'm going to try to keep this video as short as I can, so I'm going to leave that. Since that is a shelter item, I also have this, which is a piece of plastic off of a big roll of plastic house wrap. So that's what that is. A lot of people will carry contractor bags and things like that, which are great. And they do have some functionality that this does not have, since they are a bag. You can fill it with debris and make a mattress or whatever. This doesn't really have that functionality, but the plastic is much tougher than most contractor bags that I have used. And it's also very large. This is more than big enough to just completely lay out on the ground and be protected from any moisture or anything underneath me. So, I use that. That's a good thing to have. Insect head net. I live in the southeast. It's summertime. There are gnats and mosquitoes and bugs all over the place. This is extremely useful. I actually carry two of these. There's one in the pack and one either in the kit bag or in my shoulder bag that I carry, just because it's a nice thing to have. So, head net. This is a little titanium cup. If I'm carrying the umlindi, then this is going to be in one of the outside pockets. The lid will be off underneath the cup, and the Nalgene bottle will nest inside that quite nicely. This one is made by Roe Creek, R-O-C-R-E-E-K, Roe Creek. It's a good little cup there. I've used that for all kinds of things. You can see it's kind of dirty and black. That's been used. So that's a good thing to have along. Here we go. Running out of room over there. I'm gonna start shoving things and not let anything fall on the ground. Maybe. Dry bag. This is a 2-liter dry bag, and inside this is spare clothes. T-shirt and base layer clothing. It's always nice to have dry clothes to put on if you're wet for whatever reason. If you get rained on, fall in a creek, you're out hiking and get super hot and sweaty, and it's a long drive home. This can help prevent chafing, which is nice. So spare clothes is a good thing to have along. And also, if I was forced to spend a night somewhere, sleeping clothes, because I don't want to sleep in what I've been wearing all day. It's going to be wet because it's summertime. I'll have been sweating. And if you've ever slept in wet clothes, then you will know that is not the most comfortable thing in the world. So I like to avoid that whenever possible. So, spare clothes. Oh, there's another head net. You can see I must like these a whole lot because I have another one. Alright, now then. this is a feature that I really like about the Tarahumara pack. I have more things in here, but I'm going to try to get that open there. You can see there's a Grimlock right here, and a little loop sewn into the pack. And that little Grimlock right there, if I open that up, for one thing, I have a headlamp. This is a black diamond of some sort. I have no idea what the model is. I've had this for years, and this is the only one that I've used in years because it's good enough that I've never felt the need to replace it. So I have a black diamond headlamp. It's got a lot of functions. White light, red, green, blue, strobe. Very functional. Now, if I take that Grimlock off the little loop that's sewn inside the pack, everything else that's in here will come out in one package, just like that. Another pack is empty. So I'm going to move that over, and we'll just talk about this for a minute. So this is the Tara insert, also from Hill People Gear. Velcro paneling there, and Pals webbing, laser cut in there. Pretty cool. So here are some tent stakes. These I also ordered from Bushcraft Outfitters. I don't remember what they're called. I want to say it's like a nail or something like that. But they're just little titanium stakes that I can use in conjunction with the poncho there to set it up as a tarp. And two heavy-duty locking carabiners here. You see, lock that one up. Locked, closed. These are climbing rated. These are Metolius, if I'm saying that correctly. These are 24 kilonewton rated carabiners, so you can pretty much pick up a car with that and not have any problems. So that's more than heavy duty enough for anything I might need a carabiner for. And I have two of those. Alright, bottom pocket here. Go ahead and take it off. This is some type of military surplus pouch that I picked up at a flea market for a few dollars. And I got some Velcro and sewed it on there so that I can attach it to the insert and it stays. So, homemade deal there. These Velcro back pouches are sometimes not cheap. And inside this pouch, there are a few things. One is water filter. This is a Sawyer Mini with a 32-ounce pouch. Sawyer Mini comes with a 16-ounce pouch. But I prefer the 32 just because it allows me to carry more water, obviously. And also these are easier to fill up than the 16-ounce pouches. You might not get it completely full, but if there's a shallow water source you're trying to get water out of, you'll be able to get more water in this than you would the 16-ounce pouch, as the internal volume will fill up equally, if that makes sense. Let's say that you fill up the 16-ounce pouch halfway, that's 8 ounces. This one would also fill up halfway in the same shallow pool, but then you've got 16 ounces. So, just a little bit more efficient use with that. A map of my area here. It's the Nat Geo Trails Illustrated topographic map of where I live. Good thing to have. SE compass cards, which come in pretty handy. Right there. Flare it out there, and I have a little string on it so I can attach it to something, make it a little easier to get to. Loop it around somewhere and stick it in a pocket or whatever if I'm using it a lot. But this has pretty good scales on it that match a lot of maps. I got this because it has, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this in the video, if I can figure out, there we go. If I hold it up there, I don't know how well you'll be able to see that in there. It keeps falling. Let's hold it up against there. Right there. There we go. So, hold it up to the camera. This is for a 1/24,000 scale, and I tend to print a lot of maps off of Caltopo, and you can set the scale on Caltopo to match whatever scale you would prefer to use. So I can print maps for free, PDF versions, and use it with that scale of wherever I happened to be at the time. Little zipper bag here, super glue and wilderness wash. It's always good to have soap along, and super glue is handy for a lot of things. I tend to use that a lot as a first aid item. Maybe not something I would suggest to people. It's not the most sanitary thing to do, but I do it a lot, so I suppose that is what it is. Some extra zipper bags in here for trash, which are to go with these right here, which is a selection of food. Obviously I like barbecue pulled pork, and there's some chicken there. So this is emergency food. If I were to be out somewhere and were forced to spend the night, then this would come in very handy. You can go a long time without eating, that is true. Thing known as the rule of threes. You can survive 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter in harsh conditions, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. 3 weeks without food is a very long time. I don't like to go that long without eating. I get a little bit sad when I skip a meal. So I have food because I'm going to want to eat if I'm forced to stay somewhere that I didn't plan on being. So I have food. Last thing in here is a pencil to use with my map. Mechanical pencil. Easy to replace the graphite on there. It's also a very precise point. So making marks on a map, you want those to be as precise as possible. So mechanical pencil is a pretty good option for that, I think. So that's everything in that pouch. Next pouch is Hill People Gear pouch. I think these are called the 58 pouch. Another little bottle right here that's got some extra hand sanitizer in there. I tend to make my own hand sanitizer with rubbing alcohol, usually wintergreen rubbing alcohol and witch hazel. I like to use that. Spare batteries for my headlamp, and some sting relief wipes. I had to get into these the other day because I got stung by a wasp. That wasn't very much fun. And these batteries are in a Storacell battery caddy. Really handy thing to have there. Keeps all the batteries nice and contained, and also kind of helps things from coming into contact with the terminals, the positive and negative terminals there. Help keep the batteries from running down. And this side, it's kind of a pain to get in and out, so I'm going to leave it in there, but that is a charging cable right there from my phone. And that goes with this right here, which is battery backup. And this is a pretty big one, actually. How big is this one? This one is, can't read it anymore, 15,000 milliamp hours. So that's a pretty heavy duty one. Made by Energizer. Let me see. Energizer. They had good commercials a long time ago. I don't know if they do or not anymore because I don't ever watch TV. But toothbrush, good thing to have. A Tide pen, also a good thing to have. Not something I really use much in the woods, but if I were to go to town and eat something and drop food on my clothes and I'm going to some important function, might need that. That just kind of stays in there. And a piece of fat wood. This fat wood is really good for starting fires. And to go along with my food, a spoon and fork combination tool. Titanium, lightweight, fun. That was a Christmas present. And it's better than any of the other ones that I've bought myself. So I'll use that. And that's it. That is my pack. Food, water, fire, sort of things. I have some tinder here. Nothing actually to ignite anything because I carry that in my pockets. Shelter, fire, water, shelter, food. I've got some signaling. I've got my navigation. I've got some first aid. Pretty well covered on most bases with my pack there. So, there we go. Tarahumara from Hill People Gear, Loadout, done. There are additional things that I carry if I have my own Lindy because it has more room inside. So at some point, I'll probably do a video on what I would carry in that pack. A lot of this is very similar, but there are additional items that I'll put in there. So, but that's all I got for right now. Hope you enjoyed this video. maybe I'll give you some ideas on some things that you might want to carry along. If there are things that you would suggest that I carry along, feel free to leave those in the comments. Definitely look forward to hearing the ideas that come in there. Had some pretty good comments on my daily carry of a woodsman video, which has been doing quite well recently. Yeah, so let me know. Also, if you enjoyed this, definitely appreciate it if you hit the like button, share the video with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber. The channel is growing continuously, and I love that. That's awesome. So thank you very much for that. And until next time, go forth, enjoy yourself, and always come home safe.